Hello again. On this occasion I'd like to introduce you to the new graph theory tools, but first a bit of background. Here is a route that I've put together in a popular route planning program, of which there are many, and you can see it going up a hill, down, goes up the hill again, down, and the third time up the hill again. And I've loaded that into GPX Magic, and here it is. Quite a simple route, you would think. But if we look closely, we find some curious behavior. And if we get close enough to this track, we can see that there are some subtle deviations in elevation as we go up that hill each time. That's not good. And this is what we see in Magic Roads. We are sinking into the tarmac because we are at this point actually riding a road that's about a foot lower down. Well, we can use graph theory tab and start by converting that to a graph. First thing we notice is that those elevation differences have disappeared. What's happened here is that the program has analyzed the route and it's seen that we've actually gone round 3 times, and it only stores each portion of the track once and then reuses them once, 2 times, 3 times. So it's identified the loops and produced what we call a canonical representation of each of the edges. In mathematical terms, a graph is a node, which is where edges meet, and its edges, an edge goes from one node to another. So in this particular simple circuit, there is simply one node and one edge, and we have little choice but to go as many around the circuit using the edges as many times as we choose. Now, I've previously prepared a slightly more complicated version of that route, which goes up the same hill 3 times, but actually traverses it in both directions. If I just quickly run through the track, we go out to a roundabout, come back again, go up the hill, come down the hill, we go up the hill, we come down a different hill, then we go around the other way up that hill, Stanmore Hill, and down Dennis Lane for the final time. And again, zooming in close, we can see that we have some fairly bad elevation differences again. So this time, if I convert to the graph, we see there are more nodes, and we can see how our route now has been analysed. So it tells us each section of the route as we traverse, and there's a few more of those. You can scroll down, and again we have the advantage of the canonical forms of the edges. I can still edit these edges, and that will apply to every occurrence of the edge in the route, and some of these edits get a little bit complicated, so we'll have some deeper dives into those. And the important thing to note here is that because I've analysed the route, I can actually decide to take an entirely different route around by emptying this particular route. It works from the end upwards. In fact, I can start anywhere I want, go out to the roundabout, go around the roundabout, come back again, go up the hill, just to come down the hill again. Just put a straight U-turn in at the top, come down the hill again. So I've designed my own route using elements that I've abstracted from the graph, and I can also decide to separate the outward and back lanes on these routes where I'm traversing in both directions. So if I now say, okay, I'm happy with that route, the graph is now yielding me just the sections that it needs. So I'm starting, going out to the roundabout, going around the roundabout, going up the hill, doing a U-turn at the top, and coming back down the hill again. And here are our intrepid bots now going up that hill with no sinking into the tarmac and no floating above it either. And you can see on the other side the tarmac that we'll be using on the way down. It's not being rendered yet because it's too far away in Magic Road terms. Here's the U-turn at the end of that hill. Could do with some work. but it's adequate. And just segue quickly to the final downhill where you can see the road on the other side. Because we've set 5 meter separation, there's quite a wide dividing strip. You could reduce that slightly.